Okay, hi there. I'm Cheryl, and this is The Whole Bucket. Welcome and welcome back to The Whole Bucket. Today, I'm going to do some things to further work on these tags that you may or may not have seen the starting to and the master board that created those. So I'll link that if you want to go back and check it out. But I've also prepared some pencils and a couple of pages of doodles. So I pulled these pencils out because I pulled them out in pairs. This is one pair, the green and brown. This is another pair, a pink with a burgundy, an orange with a orange gold, and two variations of yellow are pairs. So I have a brighter color and a shading color in each department. And I've created this page of doodles and this page of doodles. And they might not look like much now. Hopefully, I turn them into something fabulous. I have my doubts about this one. This looks like my hands weren't working very well at the time, and I don't know if they're working so great today either, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to do some of these in yellow pink and then some in pink yellow. That doesn't sound like much difference, does it? Let's start with a pink flower center. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a circle inside and a darker circle outside of, let's just do these two center ones. So one big and one more medium size. And then once I have this, like so, I'm gonna grab, well, okay, maybe. Where the heck did my blending sticks go? Good question. Hang on. Good question, man. Huh. Not here, apparently. So let's grab, I know, wait, we'll grab a Q-tip instead. So I'm going to start with the darker color and soften it and head it into the pink center. And then I'll flip my Q-tip around and do the same with the pink center, only, now I'm blending it out to the outside. I can flip this back around and do the same thing again. And flip it around to the other way again and repeat. Just starting in the center and then starting on the outside. Start in the center for this one. Flip to the outside. There we go. Just like so. And then for the outside of this flower, I think I'll go with the yellows. I'm going to do the same kind of concept. I'm going to go to the very outside of this flower, and on each petal, the top of each petal, right, I'll do a swipe of the bright yellow. And then on this bottom corner right here, I'll do the darker gold yellow. Yeah, that's it. I'll pull out a separate Q-tip for these. And this time I'm just going to do all of the bright yellows. These are charcoals, so I'm just going to soften the charcoal and pull it down into the petal as far as I want to. Which in this case is nearly filling it all the way in. And then I'll flip my Q-tip over and do the dark gold can soften and pull it up into the light yellow, like so. There we have a colored in flower. Let's see, for the next, do I want to do that the same or do I want to do that with the orange? I think I'll do it the same because I think there's enough flowers here to get in a lot of different combinations. They're very roly-poly, these pencils. Sit up there. Okay, so again, the outside's bright yellow. This line, or just that little inside corner, either or both, is the darker yellow. And we blend. Again, I'll start with the lighter yellow. Push it down into the flower, smooth it out, etc. Turn it over, smooth out that darker yellow and pull it up into the flower. Petal. Pull it up into the petal more. Like so. Okay, so that's what's going to happen on this page. Then I have a foliage page. I only have one green charcoal that kind of goes with this color scheme. So it was the choice. And I'm going to go in the middle of each leaf of grass and put this green down like so. And I'll do it on a bit of a fatter one as well. I might do it on this tiny one too, just to show you that this is the same thing that's going to happen on all of them. On this folded one and this folded one, I missed this right here. I'm putting the green in the center of both sections. Then I'm going to take brown and put it in the points. There and there. There and there. The bottom of all three of them. The top of this one. Top and bottom. Top and bottom. Bottom and top. Imagine that. Bottom, top, top, bottom, etc. all the way across. And then for this one, same as the other folded one, in the bottom and the top of each section. All right, let's get a third Q-tip. This one, I'm going to start with the greens, and I'm going to do the same thing, smoothing out that section, and then I'm going to pull it in two directions. So I'm going to pull this up into the leaf of grass, and down. Same with this one, up and down. And the reason I chose brown and green is, I started to tell, because I don't have another green that goes with this color scheme, and because I'm doing it on tea-dyed paper and there's other tea-dyed papers involved, and I have this brown that I'm using that goes kind of to the orange, and orange is a color that's in the paper. So what I ended up with is a combination of green and brown, and I thought that's just fine for grasses. This is so tiny that it's going right outside of the lines, and I decided I don't really care if it gets shadowing outside the drawing. I don't know that when I cut these out, I'm going to cut them out that fussy. I have a different idea that might happen instead, but we'll get there. I'll show you when I get there. Okay, there we go. Those little ones are hard to do. I do have pointy Q-tips though. I could be using those. That would make sense. But I didn't, so there you go. I could always go get actual blending stumps too, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure that that would matter. It's not going to make a whole lot of difference. You can blend charcoals with just about anything, even just your fingers. They'll blend nicely. The colors actually aren't blending very nicely on this paper. They're blending enough, and I like it, but I noticed that the pigment in the charcoal is really staying put quite a bit more than usual. I wonder why. That has something to do with the coffee dye or something. But it's kind of grabbing onto that pigment. So this is how I'm going to be doing the grasses. And I will come back when these 2 pages are all done, and then we'll move on. All right, be right back. Okay then, let's get back to work. So for you, it's been a second or maybe a little less than. For me, it's been a long time. I spent quite a while coloring these and tearing them out and such. I'm going to push that stuff out of the way. And actually here, let's put away the pencils because it's a little crowded here right now. And I guess I'm not going to worry about where they go so much as just getting them in the holder. Yep, see, I messed up the orange and the pinks. And the pink and the purple. Let's get this one in there too. At least I know that's green. Is there anything else? Yeah, there should be another one. Oh, there it is. A brown one from right there. Okay, let's put that away. Let's put that away. Let me grab these pens and put those in their holder, which is over on the side here. I can put my eraser in there. Anything else quick? No, should have done that before I started the camera, huh? Nope. Okay, let's lay out the pieces that we have. We have a 5x7 for ATCs, and I think I want them horizontal today. I go back and forth often. Oh, I kind of like that layout. Okay, I might have to switch and do a vertical again. There's the belly band and the large tag. Oh my, and I didn't realize I had hit my camera. Sorry about that. There's a strip of some sort for something. A small card. Another strip for something. And a pile of foliage. And a pile of flowers. So, what I need to do is start out with the biggest first. And in this case, the biggest is actually the tag. So the 5x7, the 5x7 might seem like it's bigger because individually it actually is. But because it is not actually a 5x7, it's actually 4 ATCs, it's smaller stuff needs to go on here. Don't know if that makes sense, but I think it will once we're moving. So then if this is the biggest one, I want the biggest leaves on there too. So Looks like these are all the biggest leaves. If I have that like so, and the biggest flower up here. Maybe that can even just be the only thing on there. Not sure. Might want more than one, but now that I'm looking at it like this, that's actually a nice fill. So we'll just leave that as one for now. Then we can move over to the ATCs. If I were to maybe layer the foliage up the center. Okay, so this would actually be cut down the center and across the center, right? So this is just to get some little bits in each section. Hi, Malik. What's up, buddy? But it really gets almost nothing up here and almost nothing down here. So what's up, sweetheart? Come on. Good boy. But you can't. Okay, but okay, folks. Let's take a short kitty break. I'll be right back again. As soon as I went to get Malik, off my desk, some catastrophes happened. So things look a little different than before I hit the pause button. And I wasn't liking what was going on over on this one anyway. So I rethought it while I was trying to put things back in order. And I'm kind of liking the way that's going now better than I liked it before. So I'm going to keep it like that for a little bit. And see what comes of it. So there we go. And I'm not sure what to do with this one. I'm not even sure what it will be. It would make a good pocket just like this, or the other way. Then this could go on one side, and it could stick above the pocket. I'm okay with that. I would have to give it some kind of backing. I don't know where I'd put the flower then, but I could do that. But I could also do everything in this little set vertical. Do something like that. This could still obviously be a pocket, a tuck spot of some sort. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see what it looks like if we put the flowers on. And there are a couple extra foliage pieces if we need them. So, biggest flowers first. I might want to put this one right up here. And then this one possibly right here. And then they're getting a littler kind of quick. So I'm not sure. But one of these on here. And then you know what? They're all going the same way too. They're all leaf, flower, leaf, flower, leaf, flower. Leaf, and the flower will go over here. I kind of have a pattern. This is not I probably want to change things up a bit, but we'll see. I'm going to put them where I want them in first anyway. And then this puppy over here has to have several flowers. So I think one would go here-ish and here-ish, and maybe a tiny one far, far away, like here-ish. Then let's do the biggest one, maybe right there. We'll do a set of 2, which is really weird and hard to pull off. I think that actually does it all right. And then we have 3 more. Let's see if we could pull off a 2 over here. Possibly, I think we could. And then this little baby one could maybe create a different kind of balance if we did that. No, then everything is still going the same wonky way. What if I did well, that's still going the same wonky way. I did not, when I was making these, realize that I was doing everything in one direction. I thought I was mixing it up. I was clearly not mixing it up. What if I did that on this one? What if I switched this to over here? With the flower, and then put this over with a flower. I don't hate that, but I do think that flower is way too tiny for the job I'm asking it to do. So can we get away with a tiny, tiny flower here? No, we cannot. Would this one be better here? Yes, it would, but then they're too much the same. So I'm thinking I can take these 2 right here and mix up this game. So what if I do this one here, and then this one here, and these 2, oh no, now they're the same. Okay, this one here, and these 2 on here. I think I found an arrangement I like. Now, if I can start gluing before a cat jumps on here, I think we might be onto something. So let's start gluing with this puppy right here. And we will hurry before somebody decides they need to jump up here. I think both the boy kitties are outside. I don't think Bella would ever jump up on my desk. Should never say never though, right? So I don't think Bella will be jumping up here, but Suni certainly would, and has many a time. So, and I just offered to let her outside and she didn't go, even though I know she wants to go. So she will be bugging me soon. Mom, why didn't you let me out? Because I opened the door and you don't like doing the same things as the boys are doing, so you wouldn't go out when Malik went out. And now you want me to go up the stairs again. She's ruthless, I tell you. Ruthless. She does not care how many times she makes me do the stairs in a day. I mean, I can't argue. I need my exercise, really. It's true. She's not wrong. But okay. I don't know if I'll be happy with this decision, but I'm going to wrap these bits around. Won't they create a tiny little border on the back? Maybe. Maybe it'll look stupid. But I wrapped them around in any case. Let's see what we got. We got silly little bits. That's what we got. That's what I thought we'd get too. They really do nothing for it, but you know, now that I did one, I'll just do them all. We'll see what that turns out to be. Okay, there's moving forward on one of them. Wish I would remember to bring my glue holder out of my room because I really want to be using this liquid glue on this. But my bottle holder is in a different room. Okay, I'm going to have that one go right off of the edge, like so. And get a decent angle. I don't want it to look like the whole thing is blowing over. It'll look dumb. There we go. I kind of like that. Good girl, Suni. Going over there is much better than climbing over here, lady cat. Okay, now this guy. We'll go about like so. I kind of feel like this flower is too small for this. It needs to have a friend, but I don't have any more flowers. I might have to make at least one more flower, one more tiny one. It would be kind of fun if this flower had a micro flower buddy. Maybe I can draw one in. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. I pulled that down a lot farther than I intended, I think. But I'm not sure. In any case, I noticed I'm folding all of the leftovers over now. Wasn't what I intended to do either. And now this one, we'll go way up here. Okay, looks good. Not looking forward to that ATC card one. It looks very complicated. Not sure if it is that complicated, but it looks like it is, and it looks like it's a very precarious balance. You know what? I want this completely turned like so. Okay, next. Okay. Okay, so we have those done to a point. They're not done, but they're done-ish. Next, we're going to add a little shading and some stems and some details. Okay, like so. And this one. Like so. Like so. Okay. This one really doesn't have much to fold around, so I think I might just cut this one off. There's really no point in folding it around. And then this one. I think like so. Yeah. Yep. Had to take a second peek quick there because I wasn't sure how I was going to get the stem in, but I figured it out. Hopefully when I go to do it, I'll remember what I thought. Okay, that one's ready for the next step. Now this one. Excuse me, get back over there. Hold still. My glue apparently is very excited. Again, this one has little to nothing to offer the back side, so I'm not going to fold this one. I will cut it instead. This flower can fold over. Here we go. It won't be much, but a little something like some of the others. Just sign us kind of some squiggles, comes a little bit of color, you know. Yeah, that should be cut off. So should this bit. If they don't stick, I will cut them off because they're not really big enough to do what they're there for. All right, now I must face my fears and do this. I'm just going to move everything vaguely where it's going to end up. So these off to here, this off to here, this one up here, these two up here, and then I'll just start with these two bits. And hopefully get something that looks good. There's a lot of ways to make sure that your collaged bits stay the way that you designed them. And if they don't, a way to get them back the way you designed them. And I would do some of those things, but I'm not really that worried about it right now. Yep, let's do that. Couldn't quite find where this one goes. Don't know if I'm correct now, but at least I found a spot I can work with. One of the tricks I like doing, but it's risky business, is using cling wrap, press and seal style cling wrap, because you can put it over the stuff I've collaged and then peel it off of the stuff I've collaged, and I end up, oh, I might do that. And I end up with everything backwards, so I can glue it from the back and then peel the press and seal off. And put my glued together piece back where I wanted it. But the problem is that is super risky because sometimes the press and seal clings to the artwork and tears it. And it's awful. Okay, what if we do that? And that, maybe, and that, maybe. Nope, something has changed and now I no longer like the dynamics that are going on here. So just give me a jiffy and I will figure out what I want to do about it. Could we maybe do that? And that? And that? Oh, that's just too much. Too much, and they're all going the same way. Bummer. Okay, what about What about that right there? If I tore this, I'm going to tear this. Oh, shoot. I can always put it back together, really. I could just glue them up against each other, right? What if I wanted to layer? And I did this, maybe? And that? No. This is looking dumb, guys. I may have ruined my own project. I may have. That goes there. This could go here. This could go. That's terrible. That goes like that. Are we any better?
Sorry, feedback is not supported for current streaming content.
I did not ask her a question. She's always offering stuff up when I didn't even talk to her. This is not good, guys. I'm going to put you back on pause. I apologize, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might have to make new leaves. We'll see. I'll be right back. Okay, I got my new idea. This is my new idea. I'm going to pull this one over to the side. Like so. This one is going to kind of go up that middle section. Not kind of, it is going to go up that middle section. Like so. This one is going to be down in the other corner and tipped a little bit, and just tipped a little bit. Like that. Then the flowers, oh shoot. I'm going to have to do, well, okay, so let's put this one on first because it needs to go to the back. This one's going to come forward a tad. Put it down too far. It needs to be up. Up and forward, not down and forward. There we go. Up and forward is a little rare, so my brain's not used to that. Okay, then we're going to put the biggest one up here, all by its lonesome. Come on, scoot your butt. Why don't you scoot it a little bit? There we go. I'm going to do that. These two are going to be just so you see them. This time the larger of the two will be toward the front. I mean, in the back. I apparently don't know the difference between front and back. Forward, backward. And the little flower will be a little bit in front of it. So in this case up here that I'm doing right now, the little flower is a baby and it's closer to us. In this case, the smaller flower is farther away because it's farther away, but in real life it would be bigger than this one if we, went up to it. If you know what I'm saying. It sounded like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Mumbo jumbo. Okay, this one is going to go right about there. These two, I think I'm going to have this one be the farthest back. Up here. And this one will come a little closer. Down here. Like so. Okay. That's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to get out, if it's here, a green pen or two. And there are two here. Let's see if both of them are actually working. I found a lot of my pens are now fading. Makes me sad. That is fine and dandy right there. And what about this one? This one's trying to fade. It's drying, but I can feel how dry it is. And I think that's all I have in here right now. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're doing these two. And I think I'm going to start with pencil. And this is getting to be a long video. So I'm going to show you quick what I'm doing and then pause and then come back when I'm done. I'm going to draw some stems. So these two, this one and this one, are part of this same plant. This one is going to go to this plant right here. These two are here. And this one is actually up from here. So that stem is going to go all the way down into that card before it. And then this one is going to just go a bit like that. And then it's going to go off this way as well. Except I think I want that one to dip down farther. I don't know. That one's funny looking. Anywho, it's the same concept. This one is going to go here. I might have to wait a little while before I get these drawn in too, because as I'm putting this pencil in, I can feel how wet the glue still is. But that's going to go there. This one will go a little wavy because it can. It has the room. It has the right attitude, and that'll look cool. That one can be just a little curvy like so. I think I'll do this one through here just so I have one that's behaving a little differently than the rest, because we've already been over it, but I thought I was doing things differently, but I was really just not. It's really just doing everything the same without even realizing it. Okay, So I'm going to let these dry a little bit before I continue. Then I'm going to use my green pens to get some stems put in these. And then I will maybe trim some corners or do some edging or whatever, but I will be right back to show you what we ended up with. All right, let's look at what we ended up with. So I did some grunging up these guys because I wanted to, I guess. I didn't quite intend them to turn out the way they did, but I never really have a complete picture of what I'm doing. So there is one of the little tags. That was one of the extra pieces. This was one of the extra pieces. And this was the other extra piece. So a nice little card. Then we have the belly band and the large tag. And lastly, we have ATCs. And I am going to cut this board right now so we can see the final product. I don't always cut them. Sometimes I will put the whole board in a journal, and whoever then owns the journal can decide to cut them apart or leave them together. But in this case, I wanted me/you to see what happens when you cut them up. So I will cut them up and finish them so that they are complete. Oh, shoot. Okay. Like the rest of it, and then we'll lay out the whole set, and then we're done. 1, 2, 3.5. Yikes. No, you stay there. 2, 3.5. I can count to 3.5. Goodness sakes. That's no good. Okay, so now what I mean by finish them completely is I rounded the edges on everything else, just with the tiniest one. I think this is a standard corner edging for trading cards. So it's typically what I will do on them. And then I did this on the rest of the set of stuff, except for the bottoms of the tag. They're the next bigger size, just because of the size of the tag. I thought it was a proper step up. I think what I might do still is get some white splatters or my white gel pen and do some highlighting on the flowers and the leaves or some such thing, because I feel like it could stand a little brightness added back in. Okay, there's that one. That one. I like those two. So far we're doing all right. Never really sure how they're going to turn out once you cut them apart. I mean, you can do your best to get a balance and all that stuff, but can never be totally sure until you actually do it. There's number 3. I like that one as well. Turned out pretty much as expected, right? And number 4. Don't know if I like that one as much, but I actually can see something I can do to fix it if I want to in the future. So let's get this all set aside and pull the camera out a little just in case we need to, and take a look at the whole series of things. Well, that's not going to help any pulling it that close. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the large tag, plus the belly band. Do that. There we go. Plus the small leftover, the smaller leftover, and the smallest leftover. There we go. A whole suite of matching things to create a journal with. And, lest I forget, at least one page of paper that will be going in that journal. I can't figure out how to get that incorporated. Here, let's do this. There we go. A little bit of paper from everyone. Some of mine, Adria's, Jen's, Darcy's, all mixed up with some doodling. Not too shabby, really. I'm going to add those highlights back in, and then I'm going to make a journal to put these in. Okay, please like, comment, subscribe, all the jazzy stuff. Check the description box to see if there are any cool links in there. Yeah, and tune in next time when we do some more art with stuff. Maybe again from everybody, because that was kind of fun. But you never know what you're going to see here. Yeah. All right. See you next time. Bye, everybody.